The girl that walked into those doors in January last year, so January 2021, is definitely not the same girl who is sitting right here recording this video in July of 2022. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's great to have you in my little corner of YouTube where we speak all things adulting, faith, and lifestyle. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That red button must turn gray. Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you enjoyed about today's video and what other videos you'd like to see. Share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. And last but not least, hit those notification bells so that you do not miss another video. So without wasting any more time, let us get straight into today's video. We are back again with another video. It's another Wednesday. It's another 5:30 upload. You know what it is. You know what to do. Let us get into it. So a lot of you have been reaching out to me in my DMs asking me about my experience at the Big Four. Is it good? Is it the right option to go that route? There's things that they've heard that are not so great and all of that stuff. So I'm here to demystify all of that and tell you guys the pros and cons that I have experienced by working at the Big Four. I've been at the Big Four for a year and a half now, and all of these are purely from my experience. You are free to add things in the comments or points in the comments rather, about your experiences at the Big Four and what pros and cons you have experienced thus far since you have joined the Big Four. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the first one. The first pro of being at the Big Four is the exposure and the experience that you get to the different projects and industries that you find yourself working in. Working at the Big Four gives you a massive variety to choose from when it comes to the types of projects you want to be on, the types of industries you want to work in. You can work in banking, you can work in digital transformation, you can work in mining, you can work in financial services, you can work in energy, you can work in TMT, which is, telcos, media, and television. You can work in so many different industries that interest you in the Big Four. And the one thing that I love about that is that you kind of learn what you like and what you don't like. A lot of people ask me, what are you passionate about, when it comes to work? And I always say, I don't know, simply because I haven't dipped into everything yet. I've only been exposed to, limited industries in my short time there, but I think as I continue to grow at the Big Four and as I continue to tap into different projects, I'll be able to figure out what I actually like and what I'm actually passionate about. The second pro to being at the Big Four is that it gives you massive growth and learning opportunities. I have not seen firms that invest in the learning and the growth of their employees like the Big Four firms do. In terms of growth, in consulting in particular, you find yourself being thrown in the deep end almost every single day. Listen, like, you are challenged and stretched and tested on a daily basis, and I feel like that is their way of learning, the way of teaching you and training you, just so that you can, stretch yourself and challenge yourself and grow immensely. I can tell you, the girl that walked into those doors in January last year, so January 2021, is definitely not the same girl who is sitting right here recording this video in July of 2022. And I've only been here for a year and a half. Imagine how many more, or how much more growth is in store for me as I continue in my Big Four journey, depending on how long I choose to stay there. So immense growth opportunities, I kid you not. You are most likely going to find yourself doing things that are above your job description and above your job grade. And those things train you to be better and do better, so that even when performance cycles come through, they're like, hey, you're performing at a senior associate level instead of an associate level, for example. So those are things that you can definitely be grateful for in the Big Four. It might not feel great in the moment, and you might feel like, listen, I'm not getting paid enough for this, but believe you me, take each and every challenge that you get by the hand and embrace it, because it is growing you into not just a mature individual, but it is expanding your knowledge base as well. Another thing that the Big Four firms invest in is the learning of their employees. I have not seen a firm, once again, that invests, or I have not seen firms rather, that invest in the training and the learning of their employees. The Big Four will literally ship you across the country or to a different province for trainings and stuff, and learning opportunities, just so that you can come back and add value to your team and to your project with the learnings that you have learned over your time off. The third pro of being at the Big Four is the ability to climb the corporate ladder faster. I will explain this like this. If you work at a bank or in industry, for example, you find yourself in a position for a really long time until the person above you either leaves the firm or gets promoted to another position. Whereas in the Big Four, you aren't promoted based on who leaves or who doesn't. You're based on your performance and your growth and your development. So that's the one thing that I absolutely love, that you can go from associate. So basically the grades are associate, senior associate, manager, senior manager, associate director, and then partner. These are usually... you usually progress in halves. So right now I just got promoted to associate 2 from being associate 1 for about a year and a bit. So essentially you can go literally up that ladder so quickly, as opposed to sitting in like a junior manager role for 5 years until the senior manager moves to a different department or gets promoted to something else. So definitely the perk of being at the Big Four definitely is the way you can grow or climb the corporate ladder. Another advantage, another pro of being at the Big Four is the ability to tap into the crazy network. Listen, you have access to global, counterparts, global colleagues who are always willing to help. I think the one thing that I've seen in the Big Four is that people are so nice and people are so willing to help all the time. You can literally send someone an email in the US and they will respond and be willing to jump on a call with you and help you with what you need help with. And that is one thing I'm so grateful for with the Big Four. I've met people from a lot of countries in Africa and in Germany as well. So literally you are able to tap into such a network, not just in the global network, but inside as well. Like, you are able to literally text anybody from any department, any line of service, and they will respond. Anyway, let me not belabor the point. You have the ability to tap into a crazy network at the Big Four. The fifth benefit, or the fifth pro of being at the Big Four, is that it looks good on your profile. I'm gonna be point blank about this. When I say I work at the Big Four, people are like okay, you're smart. Literally, even if I'm not smart, just because I say I work at the Big Four, people are gonna be like, whoa. And it looks good on your resume. The reputation that comes with being associated with a Big Four firm is crazy. I did not know that there was such a hype around being part of the Big Four until I was a couple of months in. I just thought I was getting a job, really. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I just thought I was getting a job. But the more I grew and the more I, settled into the firm, I realized there's actually a crazy reputation that comes with being part of the Big Four. So it definitely does look good on your resume. It looks good on your profile. The second last pro or benefit of being at the Big Four is the ability to get funded for further studies. So if you want to study something that is in line with what you are doing in your daily work, and something that will add value to your line of service, you are able to apply for funding opportunities. And depending on what you're applying for, they can either fully fund you or subsidize a portion of your studies or your tuition. So that, I think, is a great thing, especially if you're a young professional who doesn't have like a lot of savings, or who is still trying to like build their savings. It's a great place to be, for you to be able to get your studies paid for by the firm, depending, like I said, on what you're studying. So with that, I just want to put in a disclaimer. You will usually be told to sign a retention contract so that you can stay with them for a year or so, depending on your region and obviously what you're applying for. It might be longer, it might be shorter, whatever, but you obviously have to stay on. And if you choose to leave, you'll probably have to pay off the remainder or the whole amount of what they paid to your tuition or towards your tuition. And the last pro that I want to touch on is the access to mentorship and coaching. So literally from the first day that you walk into that door, you are given a buddy and you're given a career coach. Those people help you not only settle into the firm, but also help you along your career journey. Your career coach is a vital person to cling to, literally to cling to in your growth in the Big Four. I won't speak much more about that, but literally I think that is one of the biggest blessings that I have experienced. Now I'm going to go into the cons, right? There aren't that many cons, to be honest. The pros definitely outweigh the cons. So I'm only going to list 2. There might be more. Like I said, if you've experienced others, leave them in the comment section. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to learn from you. This is a community. It's not just me giving you guys information. So the first con that I can say I definitely experience is that you don't have a work-life balance. I sometimes find myself opening my laptop over weekends. I sometimes find myself still working. You've seen in some of my working vlogs that I'm sometimes still working at 10, 11 o'clock. You know, it's not like that every single day, but it's quite busy, you know. And in consulting in particular, busy season is every season. Like, there's no such thing as non-busy season and busy season. Whereas in audit, you know, if it's the end of the year, it's more busy for you. But in consulting, listen, every day is busy season for you. So yes, some weeks and some days aren't as crazy as the next, but it's always busy. That leads me to my second and final con that I'll be unpacking in this video, is that you are prone to high stress levels and pressure 24/7. There are always tight deadlines in consulting. There are always ridiculous requests at ridiculous hours from clients in consulting. Literally, to be honest, I feel like it's unsustainable. I feel like having high pressure, long working hours, high stress 24/7 for 40 years of your life is very unsustainable. I'm going to be very honest with you. Some people are, you know, handling it very well, but to be honest, from my perspective, if God blesses me with a marriage and God blesses me with children and stuff, I probably won't be able to continue working at the Big Four. Maybe I would have grown in my role enough to be able to, but at my level right now, I can only juggle a number of things at a time. So with that, listen, high stress, high pressure, 24/7. Like, some nights I dream of my work. That's how stressed I am sometimes, you know. But like I said, not every day is as crazy as the one before. So that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that kind of got your mind thinking about whether going to the Big Four is the right move for you. But like I said, the pros definitely outweigh the cons. I don't regret my decision, and I would make it again. I would make this decision again, being here. But like I said, there are cons that might make you, you know, question whether the Big Four is right for you, especially if your priorities, why can't I speak? Especially if your priorities are around, you know, mental health and, you know, rest and all of that stuff, then yeah. But with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Do subscribe, comment, like, and share this if you enjoyed it. Do share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it, and anybody who could potentially be wanting to move to the Big Four in the near future. And with that, with so much love and so much light from me to you, have an amazing rest of the day. Stay safe and God bless. Bye, guys.